Hello YouTube and welcome to Cyprime Productions. I'm here to help enhance your tabletop gaming experience. Okay, you saw the title, let's get this over with. I fully expect a bunch of people to hate click on this video just to be able to say mean things to me in the comments, but in the vain hope to head some of you off at the pass, yes, I watch My Little Pony, yes, I'm an adult man, no, I don't have any kids, no, I'm not some sort of creep. It's just, sometimes real life is so terrible you want to escape to a world with magic and wonder and, perhaps most unbelievably, the ability for people to actually sit down and talk out their problems like reasonable adults. And if those talks come from the mouths of cartoon ponies, then you know what? I'm here for it.
They started arguing, but then I stepped in to help. They realized they were fighting for no reason.
So, yeah, if you can't tell, we're talking about how to play My Little Ponies in Pathfinder 2e, and believe it or not, this is not a new idea. My Little Pony has done episodes on tabletop role-playing games, and people have been making third-party Pony Pathfinder content for over a decade. Heck, there's a company out there that makes third-party supplemental books for Pathfinder called Ponyfinder, which is basically just My Little Pony with the serial numbers filed off so Hasbro doesn't sue them. So, yeah, I'm late to the party. Now, just to let you know what you're in for, today I'm going to show you how to make ponies in Pathfinder 2e using the new Howl of the Wild book. Yeah, this is all legitimate Paizo stuff. That means you could take this to officially sanctioned Pathfinder events like PaizoCon and play these characters, all legit as long as you have access to the special ancestry. I'll tell you how to build the base ancestry for each of the three main types of ponies and give you suggested classes. We'll also talk about the feats and options to keep an eye out for as you level up, and no, I won't be building any specific ponies today. Before we get started though, I need to talk a little bit about pony lore because of course there is My Little Pony lore. And if we're going to represent these ponies correctly, we have to know the lore, right? There's going to be two main sources I'm going to be pulling from primarily. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, which lasted from 2010 to 2019, a whopping 9 seasons, which is almost unheard of for a kids show. In the fandom, this is known as G4 or Gen 4 because it is the third reboot and thus the fourth iteration of My Little Pony. Gen 4, Generation 4, you get it. My Little Pony Make Your Mark started in 2021 and is currently ongoing as of the posting of this video, and it is known as G5 or Gen 5 for Generation 5. Now, G5 is supposedly set hundreds of years after G4, but still like in the same universe. However, there are some lore changes that the fans will argue about. I'm not going to go there. Just know that when I say G4, I'm talking about this My Little Pony, and when I say G5, I'm talking about this My Little Pony. Oh, and for everyone who dislikes G5, like, I'm not making judgment calls on which version is good or bad or anything. Please don't start a flame war in the comments. I am just providing people with options. Oh, and one last sticking point. In My Little Pony, magic ability is often determined by your species or ancestry in Pathfinder terms. Obviously, this is not the case with Pathfinder. For example, Pegasi can't become wizards in the show, but there's nothing stopping them from being wizards in Pathfinder. This is all to say that I can give you some suggestions for classes that would match the ancestries from the canon of the show, but those are just suggestions. If you want to make a Pegasus wizard, Pathfinder allows it. I'm just saying it would be contrary to the canon, so keep that in mind. Okay, so like I said, the new thing that makes this all possible is the book Howl of the Wild, specifically the Awakened Animal Ancestry. Now, I've talked about the Awakened Animal Ancestry before in my Mario and Sonic video, but as a quick refresher, Awakened Animals let you be tiny, small, medium, or large-sized creatures. For ponies, I'm going to choose small. I think that's correct. Look at the size of a pony compared to like a standard apple. I think small size is about right. Now, awakened animals get the ability to use their appendages like hands, which is just usually kind of hand-waved or, I guess, hoof-waved away. At least in G5, ponies can just pick up things with their flat hooves somehow. Just go with it. Also, technically, you have to be a type of normal animal, not magical creature for awakened animals, so unicorn and pegasi are kind of out. But we're going to ignore that as all of these options work mechanically, and let's be honest, if your GM is letting you play a My Little Pony, they are unlikely to get hung up on that one minor detail. So, there are three main types of ponies in both G4 and G5 My Little Pony: Earth ponies, Pegasi, and unicorns. Let's start with the Earth ponies. In both G4 and G5, Earth ponies are often the hard-working ones. In G4, they don't have any magic that you can see, though they supposedly have a connection to the Earth that makes them good at farming and working with food. There's a pony story about how for a while they were the only ponies who could make food. Actually, 3 out of the 4 main Earth ponies from both G4 and G5 have jobs that are food-related. One is an apple orchardist, one is a baker, and one runs a smoothie cart. Actually, the smoothie cart one is a little iffy, but she started off as an Earth pony. Now, after some plot stuff happens, G5 ponies do develop an innate magic in the form of plant magic, so if you want to incorporate that into your character, there is a way to do that. So for an Earth pony, we're going to start with an awakened animal, make them small, and take the heritage running animal, which gives us a land speed of 30 and a natural attack. Now, you can choose the option Jaws for your natural attack, but I think a better option is Hoof Attack. Hoof Attack technically isn't listed on the table of possible attacks for awakened animal, but you can use the stats for a tail attack, and that would probably work out just the same. We know that hoof attacks are a thing in Pathfinder 2e because Nephilim can get one, so it's hardly a stretch. There are a bunch of ancestry feats for awakened animals you could take. Awakened animal lore for some extra skills, natural senses if you wanted low light vision or something. I'd be tempted for You're So Cute. That gives you the perform skill, and ponies are always ready to drop into a song at a moment's notice. If you want to represent a G5 pony's plant magic, you could grab the feat Awakened Mind. Awakened Mind gives you a single primal cantrip, which you could use to grab either Taglevine or Timber. Both are cantrips that grow plants. As for good classes to go for, any non-spellcaster class is probably fine. I know I'm going to sound like a broken record because my last 2 videos used this class, but Monk is probably a good choice because we rarely see ponies wearing armor or wielding weapons. If you're going for a G5 Earth pony, then primal magic users like druids, primal witches, or primal sorcerers are also an option. Lastly, when Starfinder comes out, you may want to look into Witch Warper. Witch Warper is a spellcasting class that can warp reality, similar to how the Earth pony Pinkie Pie can warp reality, so, I mean, if that's what you want to play. As for leveling up, maybe take a look at general feats like Toughness or Hefty Holler, as Earth ponies are often depicted as some of the strongest and toughest ponies. Wild Stride gives you some bonus movement if you have your hands or hooves free. Moving on to Pegasi, in the show their magic is their ability to fly. Yeah, it's explained that the wings are needed to fly, but they can't do it all, and that Pegasus have a natural magic that works with their wings to let them fly. We don't ever see them use any other magic as far as I know, so if you want to be show accurate, you may want to steer clear of magic using classes. Actually, that's not true. This lone Pegasus develops magic powers through weird plot shenanigans, but that's like a one-off thing. It doesn't usually happen like that. As for the specifics, again, awakened animal, small-sized. We're going to take the flying animal heritage, which means we don't take fall damage because we can use our wings to slow us down. Our land speed is 20, but we still get a free natural attack. Just like the Earth pony, I would probably choose hoof attacks again. For our first level ancestry feat, undoubtedly we're going to want to grab Take Flight, which gives us a fly speed of 15, kinda, sorta? We have to land in between each fly action or we fall, so it's not true flight, but it's the best we can get at level 1. As for classes, like I said earlier, all non-magical classes are probably up for grabs. G4 and G5 love showing Pegasi in armor, so fighting types would probably be welcome. Also in G5, the character Zip is really into technology and detective work, so Inventor or Investigator are also solid options for her. While leveling up, you might want to check out the Winged Warrior archetype for your class, as that has a bunch of feats that let you make the best of your wings. Also, while leveling up, you will probably want to invest in the level 5 ancestry feat Strong of Wing, which increases your fly speed, and finally Fully Flighted at level 9, which gives you a full flight speed, meaning you don't fall at the end of every fly action. Lastly, unicorns. It seems that all unicorns have at least the basic spell to move things around, but from there it gets a bit weird. Sometimes unicorns develop spontaneous spells on their own, sometimes they have to study to learn magic. It's a bit all over the place. I think the takeaway is that there's probably enough options to justify any type of unicorn spellcaster in My Little Pony, or, I mean, you don't have to be a spellcaster at all. There are plenty of unicorns who don't focus on their magic. This pony is really into balloon sculptures? Point is, options are wide open. For ancestry, again, awakened animal, small sized. Like earth ponies, I'll choose running animal. Again, this gets them a land speed of 30 and a natural attack, which can be a horn attack, which is actually on the list, so hey, that's cool. For ancestry feats, I take Awakened Mind. That gets us a single primal cantrip, just like I said with the earth ponies. Using that, you can grab Prestidigitation, as that can, very slowly, lift small objects. The best cantrip to actually get would be Telekinetic Hand, of course, but that isn't a primal cantrip. Maybe your GM would be willing to bend a few rules, or you could just pick up that cantrip with your class. Speaking of class, most spellcasting classes in Pathfinder 2e would work just fine. Wizard, Sorcerer, Bard, all viable options. Several ponies have pet animals, like Twilight Sparkle has this owl called Owlowicious, so Witch is also an option. Cleric might be a stretch, as there are no true deities in G4 or G5. Unless you count Princess Celestia and her sister Luna, I'm not going to open that can of worms, but hey, Oracle would be pretty solid. I'd go with Psychic myself, but I wouldn't begrudge anybody else for making any other choices. Honestly, level ups are pretty wide open here. If you want to go for a spellcasting class, you could represent a unicorn having both innate and learned magic by having, say, a wizard take sorcerer dedication, or vice versa. Or really, any combination of spontaneous and prepared caster. And that's it. Now, I know there are other species in the My Little Pony worlds, like sea ponies, griffins, yaks, hippogriffs, and yeah, if this video does well, I might cover some of those in the future. But let me know what you think. Do you want to try out one of these characters? Has this made you curious? Do you want to smite me off the face of the planet for even mentioning My Little Pony? Let's get a conversation going in the comments below. Just try to remember to be civil, yeah? And while you're leaving a comment, remember to like and subscribe. That tells not only me, but also YouTube that you like this kind of content and would like to see more. And until next time, thank you, good luck, and happy gaming.